Aikido is a path. Aikido is definitely a path in so many ways. It's like a journey. It's also, of course, a path, a way, or a michi, a do in Japanese, which is like any of the traditional paths in Japanese culture, where you learn a series of techniques and practices, but what you're learning through that practice is yourself. You're learning about life, and you're growing and developing yourself. That's a very central part of Japanese culture. And then, of course, Aikido originated in Japanese culture. And then Aikido is definitely a personal journey for everyone who practices Aikido. And I think it's a path of learning. I'm not sure what else it would be.
One of my favorite quotes from O Sensei, it goes like this, if I remember right, one does not need buildings, money, power, or status to train in the art of peace. Heaven is right where you are standing, and that is the place to practice. And that particular quote has been with me pretty much my entire career in Aikido, because it addresses a lot of things that I feel about Aikido, and how it's taught, how you learn it. And I like the idea that heaven is right where you're standing. It doesn't talk about how you got to heaven, and whatever your journey was, however you got to this place you're standing, if to you that's heaven, and it doesn't talk about what particular path you took to get there, that it's open to everybody, and that Aikido is open to everybody. To me, for Aikido to be real meaningful, you have to be able to train with anybody, at any place, any time, and it's not contingent, on having like a beautiful dojo, having status, being a powerful person, and being rich. That anybody can train with anybody else as long as you follow certain parameters, courtesy, respect, joy. To me, that's a really beautiful aspect of the art, that it kind of transcends all the international boundaries, cultures, races, everything.
These teachings of Aikido are so powerful that I wanted to get them to people of, quote, power and influence. And so who are they? Now, elected officials, business leaders. And well, how do we do that? How can we take these incredibly powerful, wonderful, beautiful principles, distill them in a way that people could get, say, in a matter of hours, because so many people aren't going to go to a dojo. So I synthesized psychology, Aikido, body-mind awareness, fitness, professional sports into what I call body-mind self-mastery technology. And you can hear the Aikido in stress less, prosper more. Number one, get centered. And center connects us to ground, because the center's in our belly, it's connected to our hips, our legs, our feet. So number one, center. Number two, base and ground. Number three, breathe. Breathe and relax. Number four, unify. Unify and align so that we're integrated. Left, right, lower, upper, inner, outer, mind, body, thought, execution. Number five is very unique to Aikido, which is blend. Go with the flow. Don't oppose, don't resist. Blend, join, harmonize. Number six is let go. Let go of our tension and our stress and our effort and our ego, muscle self, and let go, allow this universal power and energy to ultimately, number seven, flow, so that we move into a state of flow. And if you think about it, most of us we're under stress a lot. Stress is a great thing in the sense of motivating us, but we can get into a place of bad stress, under threat, under pressure, under too many, like multiple attacks, multiple demands of our lives, and we move into fight, flight, freeze. And the fourth F, I think, is flow, which is where Aikido, where this body-mind technology can take us. And when we're in flow, inside of our bodies, we're healthier. When we're in flow, we're more creative, we're more productive, we're happier. When we're in flow, we're able to move with life. And things all tend to work better.
O Sensei, our great teacher, he made this declaration that you can't defeat me because I'm one with the universe. And this is a compelling and profound statement about one of the possibilities that we can see through Aikido. So here's a man who was a national living treasure of Japan. He was an exemplary, a highly masterful martial artist. And at some point in his life, he had a transformational experience. And he said, Budo, or this art of stopping the spear, or this art of the warrior, is no longer for defeating or dominating people. It is really for bringing people together. The art itself is a sound, grounded self-defense art. It also has a lot of opportunities for learning how we can, bring together, coordinate our mind and body. And at the very deepest levels, I would say that it is about how we are able to shift our consciousness, and how we're able to shift our consciousness in an embodied way. So if you think of O-sensei, for example, where he said these statements and he said them in a nation of warriors, and people then would say, that's a beautiful idea, it's among the wisdom traditions of oneness with the universe, or the oneness of all things. And because you're a martial artist, how does that look if I come to try to throw you down, or try to strangle you, or choke you out? And so people from all over came, and what he did is he neutralized all that aggression, and so many stayed with him. So at its deepest level, I would say really the offer of Aikido is that we are retraining our spirit. We're retraining our nervous system. And what that means is that it's a moment of evolutionary history. So at a very social level, we learn from the dojo that when we go out into the street or into our families or workplace, is that we become better listeners, and we begin to listen to how people have certain kinds of concerns or set of issues that they're dealing with. What we see in that is that we can acknowledge them. And we know now that to be acknowledged for the human being, for the human brain, is really essential, to be seen.
Nowadays, I start off workshops by explaining that I have Parkinson's. The tremors come and go. Try not to be distracted by them. Aikido for 46 years has been a research process for me, trying to figure out how to live, really. One of the things that people often do is they don't complete the question. Is this right? Is this right? For whom? For what? So I pay a lot of attention to what the context is. If you think Aikido is for street fighting, you'll do a different move than if you think Aikido is for healing or meditation.
When I first started practicing Aikido, I was really fascinated by the parallels between Aikido and its philosophy and its physical movements and the work I do. I'm a sociologist. I'm also a relationship coach, and so I deal with human interactions all the time on a professional level. And I was fascinated by the physical parable of the movements and the way in which the physical movements represented what goes on between people psychologically and emotionally as they're trying to work together, cooperate together, live together. One of the aspects of a culture or a subculture is that it profoundly influences the inside of an individual. So there are big impacts that happen on the inside of us as a result of what's going on in the larger group around us. In Aikido, you're confronted physically with the ramifications of your actions. So unlike in conflict, where if you and I are being unkind to one another, we're usually locked into our own internal understanding of that, and we barely notice the other person. But in Aikido, if I'm unkind to you, I see the physical results as you fall on the mats hard, as you say, ouch, you know. I'm confronted with the consequences of my own actions. And so they get that kind of feedback. And they also find out over time that other people are progressing faster in the art because they're not locked into that sort of muscle force, aggressive, dominating mindset. And so you watch them start over here on the harsh end and come to the middle where they become soft. And in fact, it's been my experience that the longer they stay in the art, the softer and softer they become. Maybe when somebody's upset with me, I should try a different approach and not attack back. Maybe I should listen more. Maybe I should draw that person out. maybe I should help that person see where the harmony lies between us. And so the physical practice ends up profoundly influencing the mental practice. And Aikido gives you lots and lots of chances to examine how your actions influence other people. And so I think that what could start out as just a physical practice becomes a very profound life philosophy that influences all aspects of people's lives.
My sensei used to tell me, you're like a top, kid's toy top. You're spinning, everything around you spins. That's what it is. And I just like to stay with it. The idea is not to break somebody's arm or break their neck or not pounding and beating and busting, and you're controlling. Even though it might be a pain with the control, Sankyo, EQ, Nikyo, whatever, you're not breaking the bones. You're not slamming them down on the ground. Sometimes you have to and you do, but you not should. It's the art of peace, because you don't try to hurt one another. You're learning something. Maybe, okay, they call it self-defense. I never did, but it is. But I didn't do it for self-defense. It's a way of committing yourself to something not to harm you or me or anybody else, but control that. What got me, Akitoye was the one that did it. If you've seen you on a mat with this kind of a face, he'd say, smile. He wanted you to smile all the time. That means you're doing things that are, no, you're smiling. You're feeling. Be relaxed. If you smile, we feel better. We glare at him, he's going to say, what are they mad at me for? So smile, be relaxed. What would I like to pass around the world? To love one another. Really, be family.
La început, practicanții sunt atrași de mișcarea frumoasă a tehnicilor de Aikido, aruncările elegante, fixările cu foarte mult tai sabaki, da? Sigur, place ochiului acest lucru și cei care vin să vadă Aikido, li se pare o treabă extraordinar de frumoasă și foarte ușor de făcut. Când ajungi pe tatami, constați că lucrurile sunt complicate. Da? Eficiența, ca și arta scrisului, devine la îndemâna individului în timp, cu practica. Mie îmi place să explic, mai ales copiilor, că atunci când înveți să scrii, literele pe care le faci sunt stângace, ascuțite, nu sunt regulate, nu sunt rotunde, și scrii din ce repeți această scriere din liniuțe și bastonașe, da? Până ele încep să se lege și să rotunjească. Apoi înveți să faci cuvinte, apoi înveți să faci propoziții, fraze și târziu începi să scrii o compunere. Unii merg mai departe și devin scriitori, iar alții devin scriitori de succes. Da? Așa e și în Aikido. La început înveți să faci literele, înveți să te miști, înveți să faci mișcările de bază, tai sabaki, apoi înveți tehnica, apoi te desăvârșești, apoi devii maestru, da? Și abia în această fază poți fi eficient. Eficiența înseamnă să faci lucrurile rapid, da? Fără efort deosebit și fără pagube mari, cu cât mai mici pagube. Treaba asta se atinge foarte greu. Dacă te uiți la mișcările de Aikido, pe măsură ce practicantul își desăvârșește tehnica, mișcările lui sunt din ce în ce mai puțin largi, sunt mai concentrate și sunt aproape unele dintre ele nici nu se văd. Da? Cei care nu cunosc această artă marțială se miră foarte mult de faptul că nu au văzut ce s-a întâmplat când partenerul a fost aruncat sau fixat. În Aikido înseamnă să faci lucrurile fără ca ele să se vadă. Ador acest mod de a face Aikido.
There's probably many things that I've heard over the years and years and years of Sensei's sayings and writings and readings, but I think the thing that lives deeply inside of me is what Ushiba would say, or Sensei would say, you know, about his ability to lose his balance, to lose his sense of center or hara, but his ability to regain it quickly. That speaks to me of what it means to be human. It's not like I'm supposed to walk around and not be affected. It's not that I'm not supposed to have a reaction. It means that, yes, I'm going to have a human reaction. I can notice what that is, and then I have that ability, or more and more I develop that ability. How do I respond differently? How do I come back to being centered? Or how do I come back to balance, where I'm not just being thrown off? And I think that just resonates with me, because most of my life is being about trying to achieve something and hold on to it. And I just see that it's not about trying to hold on to something, but it's about trying to open up to something and letting myself fall and get back up. Letting myself take be in a situation that I didn't respond maybe the way I'd like to, and then come back and respond differently. That to me is to be human, and that to me is to grow the work of Aikido, to create harmony, to help bring peace, because it's not peace outside. I have to have peace inside. If I'm not cultivating the peace inside of me, there can't be peace outside. I can't make people be peaceful. I can only be at peace inside myself. And that little bit there really helps me not get so down on myself about things I do and don't do. It's like, I'm still learning. I'm regaining my balance. A little bit quicker this time, a little bit slower that time. A little bit quicker, a little bit slower.
O-sensei has expressed that Aikido is a way to reconcile the world. So what does that mean, and how do I then play through, and what's my responsibility? Aikido is expanding throughout the world. It just is. There are more practitioners now than there have ever been in the history of the art, and it's growing. And what happens is, it's not like we're taking our stuff and dumping it on somebody, but those people who are attracted to the practice in their own countries, they're the ones that are expanding it. They're expanding it into their own countries, into their neighbor, into their community, into their country. I think that Aikido has such vitality for reconciling the incredible conflicts that we have. It's just a magnificent practice. Again, it's about love, it's about joining, it's about honoring another person's point of view at the same time being able to share our own. And it's an art that invites. It's not an oppressive. It's an art that invites someone to participate. Doesn't get any better.